some tools that we use internally that we wanted to share with you on how to make your life a little bit easier when you have to work virtually.
Welcome to IndustrialSage, a free video podcast series all about digital marketing for industrial manufacturers. Hear interviews with your peers and find out how they're solving the same challenges that you might be facing in your own field. Coming to you from the Optimum Production Studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is IndustrialSage.
Okay, so remote work, working virtually, obviously a lot of companies doing it right now. So we've got a list of tools, things we want to be able to share.
Tools we use.
Tools we actually use ourselves.
Yes.
So this is a little bit, for these companies, yes, they are paying us. They're sending us checks in the mail. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
Do we have any affiliate links?
I don't know if we have
support
any. You know what?
IndustrialSage.
We don't have any affiliate links or anything on this. We're doing this just because we want to be able to share with people. Like just share with us like some of the tools that we're using. See that you guys might be able to find them valuable. And to be able to help is particularly for those people who haven't had to do this. And I'm sure there's some tools in there you're like, oh, I'd never heard of that. That's pretty cool. So
yeah, exactly.
So we want to jump into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So one of the things that we use right out the gate, we'll talk about email. Everybody has email, obviously. So this isn't going to be a big thing, but we're big G Suite users. So Gmail, right?
Gmail
so,
makes it easy.
It makes it very easy, and it's tied into everything. So we use, we'll use Google Drive. We'll use, obviously, Google, the Gmail. We use the calendars, which is great. And that's probably, there's a few. Do you use anything else there?
Yeah, we use Google Sheets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I consider that part of, I guess I
collaboration.
consider that part of Google Drive. But yeah, I guess you're right. Sheets, slides.
Word.
Yeah, it's true.
Or actually, it's Docs. Google Docs.
Google Docs, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not Word.
So yeah,
That'd be Microsoft Word.
We could do G Suite, but Office 365.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a competitive. You would look at the equivalent. Yeah. So look, we love. One of the things that I really love about G Suite, not that we're going to get in a love fest about all these things, is just the amount of integrations though that we're able to connect with all kinds of different things. So, G Suite will connect into a lot of these other tools that I'm looking that we have. If not all of them, most of them. I think actually all of them they connect
really well.
So that's a nice thing. But sure, Office 365
it's a lot
probably
of
does all
collaboration tools within the G Suite or Office 365.
Right.
So being able to collaborate on the same document at the exact same time, where normally maybe in a meeting someone has it pulled up on their laptop and you're going through it and everybody sees it on the Office screen. Yeah. Well, now in Zoom or whatever other tool you're using.
Actually, so biggest pet peeve that I have, probably one of the biggest freaking pet peeves is version control. So what that means is when and everyone's gone through this, let's say you have a Word document and you're like, okay, send it out. You send it out to 5 people and they're like, oh, I'm going to make changes. And then everybody makes changes on the doc. And then now you have 5 different versions. It's supposed to be version 1.5, but now it's version 0.5 because you got all these other people. And then you got to
the final.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as you add final to the document name, you have final 1, 7, 22.
We literally ran into this the other day, and it was driving me nuts. Still don't understand why we weren't able to do this, but somebody took it offline, started making changes, and now we have 1 million copies scattered in emails and all this stuff. It's which one's the latest one? I don't know. Look at the title. I hate that. Sorry.
Moral of the story.
Pet peeve.
Moral of the story.
What is it?
Use collaborative tools that are made for this.
Right. Exactly. So you can make those changes. So for those of you who do that, and fine. You can see there's a new way, and you can use, and I'm sure Office 365 has that. Word can do that now, but you'd be shocked. I'm still blown away as to how many organizations still do not use these tools.
Even, for the handful of Mac users out there that are working on these documents, Keynote, pages, numbers.
That's true.
They're collaborative. I'd say they aren't as extensive as Google Sheets.
Right. Yeah.
And, but it's a cross-platform.
Yeah.
So they'll work on PC, Mac. All 3 of these that we've discussed.
Yep.
All PC and Mac.
So great tool. Yeah, especially now with working. If you have to work on one document, let's say it's slides, or it's a spreadsheet, or it's a
PowerPoint
document. Everyone can jump in. You can make comments. When one change is made, it's a global change, and it's not wait, what version? Everyone's and you can go back to that and look at that version history. Awesome. Love it. That's probably one of my favorite things about G Suite.
Makes things much more efficient.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Okay, so let's move on. We'll go to the next one. We've got Dropbox.
Well, right. So Dropbox, it's going to handle a much wider variety of file types. Mm-hmm. So sure, it's going to sync up your Word documents, your Excels, all of those things. So in a lot of cases, you have offline files. Mm-hmm. You're working with PDFs, a lot of different things. So you can't necessarily collaborate, or you don't need to collaborate. But it's a great way to share files.
Yeah.
So, and it keeps them safe in the cloud. Yeah. It's a great backup option. They have this feature called PackRat, which will save
I don't know about PackRat.
All the different versions of it.
It's like Time Machine kind of.
Time Machine, yeah. It's the cloud backup, and it'll save an indefinite amount of all those different changes, which I love. Yeah. I love PackRat.
So basically, it's like, okay, just to lay it, it's like your online file storage. So it's like taking your documents folder if you're a PC user. Or is that PC or is that Mac? I can't remember.
Both.
Okay, both of them. We both have it's all the same documents. Okay, your files or whatever, files and folders, or I actually used to use Explorer. I haven't used the PC in forever. Explorer? That was like how you would search and stuff, like File Explorer. Isn't that it? It's been such a long time since I had a PC. Sorry, I'm very PC illiterate. I'm politically correct illiterate as well as I am a personal computer illiterate. Anyways, no, but basically, they give you your documents, you can have it online in the cloud, and then you can share that too, which is great. So people can have access to it, and you have a big storage up there. And
it also integrates with your Microsoft suite, so Office 365. So it'll help provide that collaboration and version control. Yeah. So, because a lot of challenges when you edit a document there, people are sharing at the same time. It will create those duplicates. Yeah. Well, if you have it integrated, then it won't. You can have that real-time collaboration.
Yeah. So actually, I wonder why. Because we have Drive, Google Drive, which is kind of the same thing as Dropbox. I kind of feel like the tools that Dropbox have is actually a lot better. Whereas Google Drive just kind of seems like, you can upload files and you can store it here. I feel like what you're able to use with Dropbox is a lot more versatile.
So whether it's Dropbox or even OneDrive from Microsoft or Box.net is another great enterprise solution. Yep, SharePoint. So the way I use Dropbox is I have a desktop computer at the office and I have my laptop at home. Yeah. And all of my files live in Dropbox. So when I'm working on my laptop at home, it's automatically updating my office computer. So literally, when I show up to the office,
the same thing.
It's the same thing.
So it's not like you've got local copies on one computer, like two different, like what I typically do, which is bad.
Right.
Anyways.
So it's okay. We're gonna convert you over.
I want to be converted. I'm cheap because I need to pay more for
$9 a month.
Is it $9? I think I pay $100 a year, which is cheaper than.
So if you do the annual pricing.
Do the annual pricing.
Yeah, maybe I'm grandfathered in.
You probably
because I've been using it since it really came out.
Yeah.
I think it's $11.99.
Actually, where I get really cheap
I was really upset about that.
Well, they do have Dropbox Teams, which is awesome.
Teams is fascinating.
It's a lot more. It's a lot more expensive. So that's the cheapness of me coming in. And so anyway.
Yeah, but you can have a business account without going enterprise.
Yeah, but the pricing is still like I thought it was like $50. I don't know.
Enterprise Dropbox is much more expensive than their like pro level Dropbox.
Dropbox, if you're listening and you're watching, let us know what the real. I don't know. Anyways,
we'll try and get some more.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. This one is a great tool.
You either love it or you hate it.
That's true. And actually, I'm a convert because I hated it, and now I love it.
I've always loved it.
All right.
I always looked at people that hated it like, you guys have no idea what you're missing.
Well, okay. So to really dispel the mystery,
we haven't even told
what is it? What is it? The love or hate?
Well, let's see if anybody can guess.
Okay. All right, we'll play a game.
So we'll play a game, and the question is, or maybe not really a question, but
the clue.
Here's the clue.
I know the clue.
They went IPO. They filed their IPO. They went public.
When? I didn't
this
know
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I thought that, weren't they the ones that they did a logo rebrand and they had to change it immediately because they thought there was like a object in there that was not good?
Oh, I didn't hear about that. No, their branding has always been great.
I thought it might have been somebody else. Maybe somebody else, like, I see now.
Who knows? But maybe
I'm going to start getting into. Yeah, I don't want to get
either way.
sued.
This great piece of software that you either love it or you hate it is
Slack.
Yeah. Yes, I love it.
So what is Slack? What is it? For those
Slack,
who don't know.
It's a messaging system.
Yeah.
Okay, and it can integrate with a lot of tools.
Integrations are key for us.
Yes.
Because we're dorks like that.
We're dorks. Yeah. But what it's doing is when you're working remotely and you don't have the access to your teams, okay, where you can be like, knock, knock, hey, can you answer this question?
Yeah.
And email. All right.
Yeah.
Typically, it's like you send an email.
Yeah.
It has a subject line that has nothing to do with the question you're asking on the inside, and it doesn't get answered for 2 hours.
Right.
Well, this is where Slack comes in.
Right.
So it basically allows your teams to collaborate in an open forum and have that conversation available for everyone.
Yeah.
And then, say you hire someone 3 months from now. Well, now they can go back.
That's a good point.
And see that conversation.
The streams, yeah, they're a little.
So versus what happens right now, or like pre-Slack, well, you have group text messages on here.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what do people do? They delete them.
Yeah.
Or how do you add somebody? How do you keep it safe from? We're not doing enterprise security on all of our phones.
Right.
Well, you know what has enterprise security? Slack. So
that's a very compelling argument there. Yeah.
Safe and secure messaging. It's hierarchy archived, okay, for onboarding. You can follow that. You can tag team members. You can have private messages. Yeah. It even for organizations that need to track conversations, from a legal perspective, they have that oversight functionality and capability to be able to track that. You can add outside team members to different channels.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So if
you
you're
got like
working,
contractors or whatever,
contractors, customers can collaborate, all of that. So it's a beautiful system. I've been using it for years, and I'm glad we're starting to use it too. It's just it gets things out of email that don't need to be in email.
Yeah.
We already have 750 unread messages in our inbox.
Yeah, another zero for me. But anyways, yeah. So I think for me, we've used it in the past, and I just felt like, at least to me anyways, I just feel like it was like one more thing that I have to keep track of, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting text message, I'm getting emails, I'm getting Slack message, I'm getting LinkedIn message, I'm getting all this stuff. But the key differentiator for me, at least when we were actually working virtually, because when we did it, we were still in the office or whatever, which is kind of like, and then people are not still coming in. When working remotely or virtually, that was a big, oh my gosh, I love this tool. Yeah. It's awesome. And I think one of the best things is the organization aspect. So you can create a channel for this particular project, and it can integrate with a lot of other tools that we're using, so we can keep that communication specific to if there's a specific project that we're working on, it goes and lives there, and you, like you mentioned, or you can go reference it later.
Now, have you ever experienced this? Okay,
no, I have not.
You send an email out to 5 different people, all on the same email thread. And what happens? Well, it's about this particular topic. And then within that thread, the subject line stays the same, and the topic changes a dozen times.
Yeah, and it could jump to another project or another whatever that's completely unrelated. Yeah.
So trying to go back and be like, well, Danny told us to do X, Y, Z with this project, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Whereas with Slack, you can either be channel specific, or within that channel, you can type something.
Yeah.
And then you type something, and then 3 more team members have their questions that follow. Yeah. Well, you can create something called a thread, which is basically you just click into it, and it creates a secondary conversation within that channel. So I'm able to communicate directly back to your question, not impede or interrupt the 3 other questions that team members are asking, all related to that particular channel.
Yep.
Fascinating.
And actually, one of the best things with it too is actually it's very affordable. They've got free versions that are awesome. Yeah. Anyways, I love it a lot. So, all right, let's move on to the next one.
This one
I love this one.
Is skyrocketing on the stock market charts.
Yep.
This one is Zoom.
I love
Zoom
it.
video
Zoom.
conferencing.
Yeah.
You can throw out there maybe Uber Conference,
totally.
Ring Central, any of those tools.
Which actually, I think Ring Central licenses Zoom because it's the same interface. It's the exact same interface.
Yeah.
But anyways,
either way,
awesome tool. I think I would imagine most people are familiar with it.
Or like GoToMeeting.
Yeah, GoToMeeting or actually
WebEx.
We've used all those. My Zoom, hands down, my favorite. And the biggest reason is because of the ability to be able to play back, the way that it handles video. So they came up with actually an update the other day, it was like a couple months ago, where the big struggle, we had to have hardware solutions to be able to do this, be able to actually play a video through Zoom. Let's say you're going over something, hey, watch this quick video, and you're screen sharing or whatever.
It's always awkward.
Oh, and it was horrible. In order to play back the audio, you could never play the audio back. They would
be like, here, let me take my phone and put it next to the computer screen.
It would play back through the speaker, so it
with
sounded
feedback.
Horribly. So there was a workaround. Matter of fact, we have a couple articles on IndustrialSage about it. Like one was how to fake a live webinar, and actually we talk about using this tool. It's actually one of the highest tracked or read articles. But you literally had to buy this thing to buy. It was just this technical reason why I was doing it, right? Well, they finally wrote a patch and updated the software so that you can say, hey, any audio that is on my my laptop, I can play so everyone can hear it. It's beautiful and it's amazing. Yeah. I think one of the reasons why they did that, I think, is because they were concerned about piracy issues, because you could actually record. You go to YouTube, play a video, record it through there, and I think that was I'm guessing was a little bit of a challenge. But I love it. It's such a great tool. Especially now, we're using it, for daily check-ins with everybody on our team, and the ability to be able to just pop in the video camera. I mean, just to be able to, hey, what's going on, and be able to have that connection, especially now in these days, if you have to do any selling or whatever, that ability of just having that connection,
the visual connection,
that visual connection, being able to communicate through body language is 80% of communication?
I thought it was 70, but 80 sounds good too.
80, 70, somewhere in that window. I don't know.
99% of the statistics are false anyway, including that one.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So anyway, just love that tool. It's awesome.
Great tool.
Okay.
I know from the video perspective, Zoom, hands down the best.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy Uber Conference functionality.
Yes.
Because if you're on a paid plan, there's no PIN number. You literally dial the number and everyone can join.
The only problem I've had with Uber Conference, and we ran into this, I've actually run into this with clients, where we were on the, it was ours, and we also had somewhere it was our clients, and they were kicking us off because they shared that number. And so somebody else can be starting something, and then they're jumping into your
if you're
thing
sharing
or
it, for sure.
But I mean, no, there's a bunch actually, and they're great and they work really well. I just have an affinity for Zoom.
It's a must-have.
It handles videos really, really well. That was kind of the nature of it. So, all right.
Love it or hate it.
Project
management.
I love project management. All right.
So there's a lot of tools.
Here's what we use. What do we use?
We use Rike.
Rike. Yep.
I think some of the team have a love-hate relationship with it.
Are you talking about me?
Maybe.
There's some people on our team.
There's some people
that have a love-hate
that have a love-hate relationship with it. The bottom line is you got to have a project management system.
Yeah.
Rike gives us a lot of project overview, so it's able to bring all the different projects, because at any given moment there's 24 projects in motion, whether it's client side or internal, and being able to roll that all up and be able to have insights into where are we at with things, what are the budget with things. You got to have a project management system. Rike is a great solution. It has that collaboration functionality. So, and I think across the board, whether it's Monday or Maven Link or Basecamp, heaven forbid, Zoho, or what is
There's a bunch of tools. Yeah, Zoho's one. They also
Please don't
CRM.
use that one.
Okay.
Yeah, don't use that one.
I've heard good things. But
no.
Did you know in our Insight survey that actually that was the number 5 CRM tool that manufacturers used?
Yeah, which is very
that was very interesting.
It's free.
Well, not only that, but you can also build out applications and other things with it. So it was more than just that. But anyways, I digress.
It's cool.
I don't know. I mean, so the thing with Wrike, here's the thing. It's a catalog. There's so many things that you can do that I think sometimes we get lost in that. And just because you can have a task for something doesn't mean you should. So I think my love-hate relationship with it is, we moved from Basecamp. We did have Basecamp for years, and Basecamp is awesome. It really is, but we needed some more functionality because as we move into more than just more than just one really big video, we're doing like a bunch of videos in there, and then there may be a bunch of videos plus blog articles plus landing pages plus email campaigns plus, and it's just like, wow, really trying to manage that. It gets very difficult with Basecamp. Maybe we weren't running it right, but
you end up needing spreadsheets, and then it kind of defeats the purpose of your project management software.
Right.
So I think, like you said, it depends on your organization, which is the right one for you.
Right.
Whether you're implementing it correctly, because we've had some implementation speed bumps. Okay. But the bottom line is you need something.
Yeah.
You need
exactly.
something.
And especially now, especially in a virtual environment. I mean, you have to have a central source of truth, really. So, and that helps. Okay. Next one. This is, we've talked about this quite a bit. I like
HubSpot.
This.
So we won't go into super great detail on this one, but HubSpot, CRM, marketing automation.
It's great.
So you're either using your HubSpot or using Pardot or Microsoft Dynamics or Salesforce.
Yeah, or there's a bunch of other ones. I mean, I mean, from a CRM standpoint,
Harvest.
Harvest. I think it was more for invoicing. Well, I can't remember, but we used Nutshell for a while. I think it's a great tool. Nimble. I used Nimble CRM for a little bit. That actually, the guy who designed, was it Goldmine? Designed that. They actually have a really cool prospecting tool in there where you can go and I can't remember who's using it. But anyways.
GDRP nightmare on that.
Whatever. Like it's a really great tool. You can like hover somebody's name on LinkedIn and it'll pull up any contact data and information. You can say, add this to my CRM right now.
Oh, beautiful.
Really cool. There's a million tools out there. We just happen to be using HubSpot. HubSpot, is it expensive? Yes, but there's a lot of functionality that you can do with it. And so we talk about it ad nauseum. So if you want to hear us, there's probably a bunch of other episodes.
Just search HubSpot on IndustrialSage, and you'll get a plethora.
It's a great tool. It's easy to use, tons of functionality. We love it. It's great.
Yep.
It's really great. All right.
Last but not least, this is the one.
This is a new
I've
edition.
never used this before,
This is a new edition.
That is rare. Yeah. Okay, usually I am like all about the software, but this one here, Danny discovered it.
Yes.
And it is fascinating. This one here, Danny, please explain.
It is called Dub. Now,
Dub.
Dub. D-U-B-B. Video email. Okay, so this, we've talked about this a lot.
Video
email, or really the ability to be able to create video messages and then send them out through email. So, we've had, Vidyard's got a tool, Wistia has a tool, there's like BombBomb is another one you heard about a while ago, and there's a few others. I mean, you're starting to see a lot more of them, but anyways, I checked out Dub. I really love it. It's really great. There are some really, 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 really neat tools in there, like you can create videos and be able to send them out through LinkedIn. So basically, especially...
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought this was just video and email, but it's actually video in email and in social.
Yes.
And there's some, crazy automation stuff behind it?
There's some automation and some workflows and things that you can create. And you can create like these mini landing pages, and if somebody does follows through with a call to action, it can trigger another... So it's kind of like light marketing automation, light video marketing automation and there's some other tools in there.
So would you more consider it sales automation?
Yeah.
Versus marketing?
Sales automation much more than marketing automation.
Yeah. From what you've shown me, it seems like it's less of the complicated, cumbersome things that marketers like to get into the weeds with.
Get this into my hands of a sales guy. That's like, hey, we just came back from this trade show and I want to send a quick video message to everyone that I met.
Boom.
Perfect opportunity.
I'm going to send a dub.
Do that. Boom.
So sales team's going like, hey, I'm going to send you a dub video.
Yep.
That's dope.
So somebody's like waving, and I just think, especially now when we talk about that interaction, piece, it's big. It's different, So when you get an email, when you receive that email, there's like a thumbnail of that person like waving at you. Or actually, I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can do animated GIFs.
Still,
but you can upload videos, and so even if you just want to say, hey, look, I want to send you this product video or this demo or this case study video or whatever, you can pull it. It actually integrates with HubSpot. Again, we're all about the integrations. Any way these tools can integrate so we can reduce double entry or triple entry data entry, the better. And this does
so
that.
the sales activity shows up into their HubSpot feed?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I imagine it would do the same if you had Salesforce or maybe some of the other integrations?
Probably. I've just got a lot of integrations. And so that's why, so like like we can send that, and then I can see inside my contact instance, inside my HubSpot CRM, if somebody watched that video and how much of that video they watched.
Beautiful.
And then, it's awesome. We're very much going down that road.
So Dub is helping sales teams basically create scalable, unique, personalized video content within the sales process?
Yes.
Holy cow.
So, I mean, think about it, great use case for right now. Like, I just want to send a personalized message like, hey, man, how are you doing? I know things are going crazy. I've been reading this stuff about you guys, whatever. I was just thinking about you. Let me know if I can help you with anything, or or what. I just wanted to say, hey, that's it. Instead of the, phone's cool, right? But imagine getting a video message that's like, hey, David, like, I just, hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. Like,
because, we think through like a phone call usually interrupts someone.
Yeah.
Where you don't know where they're at that moment.
Exactly.
Whereas if it's an email or a LinkedIn message, like if they're on LinkedIn, they're in a different state of mind than they're like, oh man, I just got this phone call. Like I got to finish this report or whatever it is I'm working on. And now Danny's sales guy calling me.
Right.
Well, now I see a video show up. I can consume it when it's good for me.
Exactly.
And it's easy.
Right.
Like,
and it's different.
It's easy.
It's different. And then if they watched it later. Like from a sales standpoint, you're like, sweet, they got my message. You leave a voicemail. I don't know. Did they get my message? I'm not sure. You send that, my email. Yeah. Did they get it? Did they look at it? Did they open it? I guess we get open rates and stuff like that, right?
We get opens. You can see if they clicked.
But imagine now, they watched it. I know now that my message came across.
Yeah,
it's
now
very
I'm seeing that
important.
engagement.
So when they don't get back to me, I'm like, like freaking out, like, whoa, Yeah. So anyways, cool stuff. Nice. I don't know. There's a bunch of other things. I'm sure there's some things that I left off the list, but I think these are kind of like the big ones.
Yeah, these are awesome.
We have a big affinity for tech stack. We love all the really cool technology and the tools. But I think these are some really, really good ones. That I'm sure a lot of people are using some of them in some form or fashion. But
yeah, I think especially when working remote, especially if you haven't had to work remote.
Yeah.
This is a great stack. You're on a lot of these, there's free options or what I'll call very low barrier to entry options with each one of these platforms where it's not a massive expense that you're suddenly needing to undertake just because you're working remote. Exactly. And I think there's even some carryover when you don't have to work remote anymore that you can leverage the same workflow.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yep. So
cool.
That's it. Woo. So that's what we got. That's our how many tools we dropped? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I just had like 3 more pop in my head, but we'll say that for another video for another day.
We mentioned probably 15 different tools or more.
Well, the other ones, I'm not even going to get into it because I can go on another 20 minutes and that'd be exciting. But we can talk about that later.
It's awesome.
We can talk about how to integrate all that stuff later. Maybe that's another episode. How to integrate all this stuff. There's some really good tools to be able to do that. So, all right. Well, that's it.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Than's for watching.
This is awesome. We'll be back next week.
Share this.
Yeah, you should.
Share this with your boss, with your team.
Yeah.
This is valuable information that people need to see, people need to hear, and you're going to bring innovation to your organization when you share and watch these videos.
Absolutely. And if there's something that we missed, and you're like, oh, guys, you totally missed this, you need put a comment. Put it on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Join the conversation. Add in the tools that you love using and that you've discovered that are really valuable for you. And then it'll go da-da, and then we do the intro, and then we go into it.
And now we're into it.
Yeah.